what are your thoughts on the themes of the film as well as like how you felt after watching it for the first time?
Yes. So as Jeffrey mentioned before, we actually didn't watch the trailer before, which we thought was a pretty genius idea. So we didn't know what to expect. But I think that it is definitely like a beautiful film, and it's very interesting. I think the more times you watch it, the more you'll discover through the perspectives of the film.
I think what's so special is that Kore-eda is able to deal with such important family drama, but he's able to always see the semblance of hope in it. And I think that's something that's very beautiful that all the viewers are going to enjoy. So thank you for this opportunity.
Have you seen Monster yet? Or is this?
I'm not. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I think East Asian cinema is absolutely elevating the game for the last couple of years. And with, titles that take over the entire planet. So, and I've always been a fan of Japanese media since Naruto, since I was like 12 years old. So in terms of storytelling and content creation over there, I admire what's going on. And I'm very, very glad the whole world's getting to see a piece of it.
Well, to give you a hint of what this movie entails, I've seen it once already. Emotional damage.
Okay. That means I'm perfect here then.
The movie's going to touch upon like how misunderstandings can happen and how that turns people to monsters in our eyes. And it centers in on the experiences of two young children and kind of how, as adults, we can better understand each other, to understand the children so that we can help them in their struggles throughout life. What are your thoughts on this topic?
I think it's a topic that needs to be explored more because, I have some very similar beliefs in my own life where the majority of conflict stems from misunderstanding. My favorite poem/proverb is exactly that. 人之初性本善，性相近，习相远. Which describes exactly that. I think human nature is similar. We're all born kind, but the paths that we have come across may be different. And that's what causes the misunderstanding, which eventually causes conflicts. So the fact that we have a film that explores that makes me very, very excited to watch it. And I think more people should be covering this.
So the movie Monster talks about people trying to understand each other better so that we don't turn them into monsters in our minds, as well as putting in the effort to understand children better so that we can help them grow up in the best way possible. What are your thoughts on these themes?
When I was younger, I went to the school. It's not a good neighborhood. So I feel their emotion, both of them. So it is better to be good, to be nice people, but sometimes it's happen. So you have to figure it out by ourselves. How do I have to be a nice person? So this film it's great to show all that type of Japanese, all that period of time of Japanese. So they'll know what's going on in Japan. So people will understand each other. This film is not just about Japan. It's going to be all over the world. So we help each other. We cooperate to each other. Yeah. I'm a Japanese guy living here. Among American people, it's not easy. It's not that easy. So I understand what is tough in real life, what I can face to the reality, and I can solve it the same as this film. Yeah.
And what do you do here in LA?
Well, I'm an actor and a comedian and a host. Yeah, in Los Angeles. I moved here like 20 years ago. Yeah.
Any projects you want to bring attention to at this time?
Right now, my show is called Maniac. I was with Emma Stone. It's on Netflix, so you have to watch Maniac. Yeah.
The movie Monster touches upon themes of understanding children and the misunderstandings that happen that kind of turn people to monsters in our own eyes. What are your thoughts on whether learn to understand each other better or learn to understand children?
I think to answer your first question, learning to understand each other better is incredibly important. I think it allows us to move through the world with much more empathy. I think we'd have a lot less problems if we did that. And understanding children, I think that's like key because I think a lot of us develop a lot of deep-seated traumas in our youth. And I feel like I'm trying to understand children at their level without making them or, being having any sort of contention or being condescending. I think if you allow them to just be themselves and act as if they have value, I think they can grow up to be, a little less traumatized, a little more healthy, and I think a better world overall.
The film touches upon themes of people understanding each other better and not letting our our assumptions turn them into monsters in our eyes, as well as learning to understand children better to help them grow into their lives. What are your thoughts on these themes?
Well, there's a lot of themes going on there. First thing that comes to mind, I have a 2-year-old boy at home, and he can be quite a monster himself a lot of times. And so I'll kind of react in the moment, and I have to kind of take a pause a lot of times and just, understand that he's not even 2 years old. He's just a baby. He's just acting on his natural human impulses. And so I make it a point to apologize to him, and I try to let him know that I'm sorry, and I try to see things from his perspective and kind of understand the world through his eyes. So, I mean, I haven't seen the film yet, but these are very deep themes to be dealing with, and hopefully it makes me reevaluate the way that I interact with my own son.